Hello there, my name is Niamh and welcome to my YouTube channel if you are new here. Today we're going to be talking all about how to get into running, jogging, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm not going to be on about like the technique or like how to run. We're not talking about anything like that, so if that's what you're looking for, you ain't gonna find it here. I'm literally just going to be talking about how to physically get yourself started with running. Let's just get right into it. I was always the kind of person who thought I would never ever be a runner or someone who enjoyed running, anything like that, but it's always something I kind of admired of people. You know, I used to like look at them and be like, how are you running? Like, what is wrong with you? The more I would see people running, the more I'd be like, I wish I could do that, because I just wanted to get my level of fitness back. So I thought running would be a good way to try to do that, and here are some tips that I have found to help me to start running. And if you were the person who believes like, I'll never get into running, I'll never enjoy it, anything like that, give yourself, what's the word, the term, give yourself benefit of the doubt. I don't fully know what I'm trying to say. If you think you're never gonna get into running, keep watching, try some of my tips, and then come back to me. So my first tip is to get a Couch to 5K app. I am going to show you what one I use, if I can figure out how to screen record. I have the C2 5K app. Here we are. Here's me showing you. It is done in weeks, so you have 3 sessions per week and you do different things. So you start off with 5-minute warm-up, alternate 60 seconds jogging, 90 seconds walking for a total of 20 minutes, and each week it kind of increases more and more as to what you're doing. So each week it kind of steps it up a little bit. You're running for longer each week. And the last thing I just did was jog for 20 minutes straight, and I did it, and I'm super proud. But if it wasn't for this app, I don't think I would be into running at all, because I needed to be told what to do. I couldn't have just like started by myself. So it's free. I think if you want to pay for it, you can, and you can like see how many, you see kind of your stats on like how many calories you burn. So like if that's something you're into, then you'd have to pay for it. The majority of them are free. I would really recommend that one because it's so simple and so easy to use. And that is my main tip. Download an app for yourself and go from there. Best tip I can give you. The next thing is make sure you have proper runners and a proper bra if you are someone who has boobs. Okay, the runners, obviously so important. Invest in a good pair of runners. It's worth it. You're not going to regret it. And if you have boobs that are on a slightly bigger side than your average boob size, get yourself a good sports bra, because if you don't, you're just going to be so sore. From personal experience, I bought myself 2 good sports bras. They were 50-55 euro, worth it. There were some days at the beginning where they might be in the wash or something, and I was like, I'll just wear a normal sports bra. Big mistake, big mistake. Would not recommend if you have boobs on the bigger side. Would not recommend a normal sports bra for running, because you need support, you need them held in. Mine are kind of like wetsuit material, and I would highly recommend, because you are just going to be so uncomfortable otherwise. Okay, the next is to be disciplined with yourself, but also remember you're gonna have days when you do not want to go. So as I said with that app, it's 3 times a week you go for your running session, and just try your best to do that. Try your best to go on your days off from work if you work, or else to go a certain amount of evenings, weather permitting, if you live in Ireland. But you're gonna have days where you do not want to go. It's alright to not go on those days, I think, but also try push yourself through, because you will always feel better afterwards. So I would just recommend be disciplined with yourself, have a routine of when you go, while also remembering you're gonna absolutely hate it at times. Okay, just being honest. The next thing, this isn't really a tip, but it's just something I have to say, is that the feeling after you have gone for your jog is amazing. This runner's high people talk about, it's real, it exists. Like, you should have seen me after I had run my 20 minutes. Not even gonna joke with you here, I teared up. I actually teared up. I literally like jumped, and I was like, yes, I did it. Oh, I was so friggin' excited and happy and proud of myself, and that feeling is fantastic. It's such a fantastic feeling. So I would just say to remember this before you go for your run. If you're allergic throughout your run, if you're like, screw it, I want to give up, keep thinking in the back of your head how good you are going to feel when you have it done, especially when it's that bigger milestone. Like for me, the 20 minutes was the longest I've ever run, I'd say, and throughout it I was like, this is tough, this is really tough, but I kept just being like, I'm gonna feel incredible after I finish it. And I felt so much better than I could ever have imagined I would have felt. But just remember that, keep that in the back of your head. You're going to feel fantastic. You'll be baked, right? I'm not saying you're gonna be like, woo, that was so great. You're gonna be exhausted if you're starting from scratch. If you are not someone who was into fitness like me, it's gonna be really tough. Your chest feels like it's gonna give out on you, but you are gonna feel amazing, I promise you, okay? The next thing I would say is switch up the scenery if you can. If you are living in an area where there's literally only one place you can go running, look, that's what you got. At least you have a place you can go running. But if you are lucky enough that you have several spots you could go running in, I would recommend switching it up every now and again. That is what I do. I have a few different ways I can go. I have a few different places I can drive to go for my runs, and switching it up definitely helps, and it just makes you realize what kind of way you like to run. Like, I know for me, I way prefer running on flat ground in quieter areas, so I go to an area that is fully flat if I wanted to be. I can also go over a little bridge if I'm feeling, you know, a little fancy that day. I want to give myself a bit of an extra push. Just figure out what is best for you. If you're able to, I would recommend just switching it up so that you don't get bored of doing the exact same thing every single time, if you get what I mean. Have a good oh, I just got too enthusiastic about that there. Have a good playlist made, or have a good podcast to listen to. So I have listened to both podcasts and music while running. I think I slightly prefer music. I was preferring podcasts for a little while because I wasn't even thinking of like the length of time I was running. Do you know, with songs you can kind of, if you're doing like an 8-minute run, you can kind of be like, it's about 2.5 songs, you know. So I'd kind of noticed that I'd be like, after a song finished, I was like, right, that was probably like 3 minutes, only 5 more to go. It was nearly demotivating me because I was too focused on like how long I had left. Whereas with the podcasts, I found that you're just listening to a chat, like, you know, so that helped me in taking my mind off the actual time of running. But what I've gone into lately is running to soundtracks. I adore it personally because it just gives me an extra pump of adrenaline, and I just feel like I'm either like preparing myself to like fight, or like I'm training for something, or I just feel like I am this different person running in a movie or in a TV show to the soundtrack. Bridgerton soundtrack, fantastic to run to. Harry Potter soundtrack's amazing as well. That is what I personally do, but I think if you're the person who doesn't want to listen to anything when running, fair enough, but that is not me. So I would really recommend, if you do need to listen to something, have a good playlist made, or have a good few episodes of a podcast lined up for over the weeks or something. The next thing I have to say is, don't be so hard on yourself if it doesn't go to plan. So I decided quite late into the first lockdown that I was going to start the Couch to 5k journey, and I got about 3 weeks in, and then I went back to work, and I was exhausted from work that I wasn't able I just didn't have the energy to be going for runs and stuff. So I kind of stopped then for a long while, and back in November when we went back into the second lockdown, I was like, look, let's just try again. So it's okay if it doesn't go to plan. Even like, it's like an 8-week plan, I think, that app. I'm still not finished it. I'm only on week 6, and I started in November, and it's now the middle of January, you know, but that's completely okay. It's fine if it doesn't go to plan. It's fine if you only do 2 of your 3 sessions that week. At least you did 2. It's better than nothing. Just remember that, like, there's no need to be hard on yourself if you think in 8 weeks time I'm running a 5k. That has absolutely not been the case for me, but I'm still at it, and that's the most important thing. Just keep at it. I think I'm already going into my next point, aren't I? Yep. The next and final thing I have to say is just keep at it, try again, and you'll get there if it's what you want to do. If you want to become a runner, if you want to run 5k, you're gonna keep at it. And like, as I was saying, you're gonna have times when it's really discouraging and you could not think of anything worse to be doing, but keep trying. And if you fall off the wagon, if you don't do anything for a few weeks, that's completely okay. Like, you're only human, and it's really tough to go from someone who was not doing exercise at all. My hair is bugging me. I was not doing exercise at all, so to go from nothing to trying to run, it's really difficult, and it's going to be really hard at times. But if you just keep trying again, you're gonna get there, you know. Never did I ever think I'd be running for 20 minutes straight, but I did it, and yeah, you'll get there. And I think if you really want to give it your all, you're going to keep going for it. No matter how many times you might stop for a few weeks, a week or two, a couple of days, whatever it is to you, just try again. That's all you can do. All you can do is try again. If you slip a little bit, just go back at it. If you restart it completely, that is absolutely fine. But if you want to do it, go for it, keep at it, and just keep trying your best. And we'll all be running around the gaff doing our 5Ks every week. That is everything I have to say on how to get into running. As I said, like, I do not know much about running technique. I'm not hurting myself. That's as much as I know. So whatever way I'm running seems to be doing fine for me. Don't ask me anything about running techniques or anything, because I'm not your girl to go to. But if you want to know any kind of more tips on how to get yourself motivated, how to get yourself started with it, feel free to leave a comment down below, DM me on Instagram, anything. But I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are someone who wants to get into running, you've got this. You will fly it. I promise you, you're going to be absolutely fab. That's all I have to say. I hope it was helpful. If you did find this video helpful and you liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already, and I shall see you on Friday with another vlog.